What is up, Buttercups? How's everything going today? Thanks for stopping by Just Cooking with the Guys. I'm Phil. This morning I got up and I said to myself, I said, Self, and I knew it was me because I recognized my voice. I thought, some homemade buttermilk biscuits sure does sound good today. So we're going to make some homemade buttermilk biscuits, and here's what we're going to do. Now I've already got the ingredients, the dry ingredients in this bowl. I'll show you what I've got in here in just a few minutes, but it's basically some unbleached flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, some baking powder and some baking soda. And I'm going to just kind of mix all this up together real good, get it all blended together. As we're doing this, I've got a cup and a half of buttermilk over here that we're going to incorporate in a few minutes. And I've also got some butter and some shortening. Now, I'll tell you right up front, these biscuits are not diet friendly, so if you're on a diet, I won't eat 4 or 5 of them at a time, because I don't know how many calories are in them, but I'm sure there's a lot. So I left my butter in the freezer. I like for it to be frozen. I've got it cubed up in little small cubes there. And we're going to kind of just mix this into the flour, like so. And then I'm going to incorporate the shortening. We've got a half a cup of shortening here. Just kind of do it up in blobs. That's kind of noisy, I know. Come off of there. There you go. I'll use this thing here. And I'm using a metal pan because I'm going to use my pastry cutter to cut this shortening and this butter into the flour. Hey, there's our cuckoo clock again. So, you want the consistency of kind of a coarse meal. So, I'm just going to start mixing this in, kind of get it incorporated a little bit. These make really good biscuits, and if memory serves me correct from the last time I made these, it should make about 20 biscuits, give or take 1 or 2. Depends on how big you make them. I think I've got a 2-inch biscuit cutter out. So, I'm going to continue to get this kind of mashed up here a little bit, and I'll be back with you here in just a second. Okay, we're back. And this is about the consistency we got. I like to leave a few little clumps of butter in here so they can kind of make those big biscuits nice and fluffy and airy. So we're going to use them this way. I got a cup and a half of buttermilk, which is almost a complete pint container, just a little bit shy of that. We're going to mix that in real good. And I got a spoon that I'm going to incorporate this with. And you want to bring it together to where it's just all the buttermilk is incorporated into your flour mixture. You don't want to overwork this because it'll make a tough biscuit. And there's nothing worse than a tough biscuit. Just about like that right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to use my countertop here. And I cleaned it good, so I'm just going to flour this dude a little bit. And I'm going to turn this out onto the countertop. Get all those little bits of goodness out of there. Okay. Also going to throw a little bit of flour on the top of this because it might be a skosh sticky and flour in my hands. And then we're just going to kind of knead this together until we can get a little bit of form to it. Maybe one more time here. Just kind of use your judgment on this. And like I say, it sticks to your fingers, so be prepared for that. Throw a little bit more on the top here. And I'm going to take my rolling pin here, and I'm not not the world's best at getting these things even, but hey, that's what makes them homemade, a little bit of rustic look to them. So okay, we're going to start with this and see where we're at. Got my trusty biscuit cutter here. I've got a couple of different ways you can do this. You can either butter your pan lightly, you can use a piece of parchment paper, or you can use some of this good old Pam butter flavor. And that's what I'm going to use today. I'm just going to lightly coat this pan. Kind of flour your biscuit cutter. Push down and pull straight up. Don't be twisting and all that garbage, because you make a crooked edge and it doesn't rise good. Okay, there's one. I don't see 20 biscuits in this, but hey, we'll see how many we get. Okay, you're going to have some dough left. Kind of push all that back together. Give it another little knead there. Always at the end of this wind up with one biscuit that looks like a stepchild. Kind of weird looking, but, and I'm not saying stepchild are weird looking, don't get me wrong, it's just, well, I have to do a little rearranging here. little bit more here. Last biscuit, doesn't look too bad. We'll just kind of make a little spot for that right in there. Now we'll let these sit for about 15 or 20 minutes and kind of let them rise a little bit. And then we'll put them in the oven at 400 degrees for a few minutes and see how they turn out. That's my leftovers. I think I'll nestle this right in there. And we'll just cook that little booger too. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes and we'll show you what they look like and then stick them in the oven and bring them out in a few minutes and see how they turn out. We are back. We rolled these biscuits out to roughly maybe 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. Cut them out with our biscuit cutter. Push straight down with your biscuit cutter and pull straight back up. Don't be twisting because you kind of screw up the edge of the biscuit and it won't rise properly when you do that. We cut them out, we laid them on our cookie sheet and we let them rise for about 20 minutes. We stuck them in a 400 degree oven for about 15 minutes. By the way, here is the biscuit recipe. And you can copy that off, stop your video if you want and copy that off and make these when you get ready. And here comes the major part. We're going to take one of these nice looking biscuits and we're going to crack that little dude open. And of course, it's probably got enough butter in it already. So I'm going to put a little bit of grape jam on mine and I'll give one to the queen, aka my wife, and see what she thinks. They look really tender.
Delicious.
And of course they're delicious. Thanks for stopping by Just Cooking with the Guys. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button, and we'll see you later. Thanks.